Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's live, I just want to go over a quick synopsis, an overview of what's transpiring in the market. I was going to do my normal Friday morning live or update like I do every day during the week, unless it's Saturday and Sunday when I start with a live. But I decided there's just too much stuff going on, and instead of doing a 20 or 25-minute video, I would give my due diligence and my full attention this morning. And XRP has made a critical push here. We've got Ethereum that's making a critical push here, but XRP's broken out of our descending pattern consolidation, and now it has signaled first layer is $2.72 if this holds, and the actual target out of this is somewhere around $3.04 to $3.07 short term. So we'll take a look at that, but XRP is not the only one of note that is moving within our portfolio. Right now, what the heck? We've got Jasmy's up 14.9%, which is actually a beautiful thing to see. We've got Canto's up 18.8% today, so that's a hot start. I'm going to share some more information on Eseye, and it's going to fill in some of the gaps from yesterday. We just simply ran out of time yesterday. We had so much stuff we were talking about. But across the board, VELO's up 5%. We've got gold and silver, as forecasted yesterday. It's going to start coming down here again. This is just part of the rotation. There's nothing we can do about this. B2 Gold gave me a sell signal on the rejection again, and now I've got to wait. Again, I'm getting sick of this in and out, in and out. But that could be a topper. And if this breaks this support, I mean, we're talking this descending channel. If it plays out worst case scenario, I don't think it's going to come all the way down there. But we'll see what happens in the days to come. But if money's coming from one avenue, it's got to be pushed through from somewhere else. So if it's going into crypto, it's got to be coming from somewhere. And at this point, it appears that a lot of people are selling out of their commodities and their precious metals to try to buy into this crypto run. We've got HBAR up 7.4%. Big news out of HBAR that they're going to be releasing their own stable coin, similar to RLUSD. And Mike Maloney, if you watched the video with me on the live last night, they talked about it last night. Now it's being talked about as news today. So I always say whenever Mike Maloney comes out, there's an imminent move. The last time he talked about HBAR, it went up like 180% in like the immediate short term within a few days. And now he talked about it yesterday, and it's had about a 13% reversal. It's up 7.25% overall, but it was down on the day before it recovered all losses. But the big news here today, in my opinion, is XRP right now is trying to break out. It's trying to break out. I'm going to go to the other chart because it shows the entirety of this pattern. Had it have come down, we talked about first layer was that 228 last night, 227, 228. That was our first chance of holding. If it would have fell there, we tried to create a pattern that it could have created, and that would have been the logical choice farther down at about 215. As I stated yesterday, I don't want it to go down there, because the more times you go down there, the more of a chance it is that this wedge is going to break, if that's exactly what it is, because that's what I think is happening here. You call it a descending triangle, descending wedge, a falling channel, a long-term bull flag, which I agree, coming all the way from the start, and that's how we get that massive measurement that we talked about yesterday, that if you wanted to get a little excited here, because you absolutely have a flag that built here. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you look at it in the longer time frames, and if it did break out of here, I mean, you're talking about getting up into that upper boundary. And we talked about it yesterday, $4 and something cents was the target out of there. But in grand scale, if this plays out, the technical target is $5.49, not from what we're doing right now, but from the descending wedge we formed for over 7 years. And it's absolutely spectacular. Like, it's spectacular. There's another one to me that when I look at certain things starting to set up and then I try to find an uptrend, same thing happened with the Ethereum Classic now. The same thing is happening that we've talked about in so many different ones. It made this little channel that's formed, right? And then what did it do on the drop? It is very possible that now Ethereum Classic is starting its uptrend to break out of this consolidation. So I'm gaining exposure to Ethereum Classic. And it could cost me short term, but I know eventually Ethereum Classic is going to break out of this. Even if it's bearish, it's going to come up to a $37 rejection at some point. It's the pattern rotation. And like the more times we go over this in different assets, buy support, sell resistance, buy support. Well, I guess you could have bought it here too. Sell resistance, buy support. Wait for the push unless it breaks the pattern. Now, though, you're getting more towards that 70 percentile area. Normally, the move will break out about 70% of the way on these forming wedges if they're bullish. Wide base. Narrowing edge. You can see the triangle getting smaller. It's forming a wedge. And these are typically, in the fashion that it's working, should be a bullish consolidation. And this has been going on since 2020. I mean, look at that. That's just enormous. So if you want to talk about something that's just a tiny bit behind the competition, this is definitely one of them to keep your eye on if it pushes past that zone. If not, fake out this morning and maybe we just rotate back down. That's the importance of me being live right now. And then you might be able to find a better deal. So, and we're speaking from a spot position right now. Spot position. If you look at this XRP right now, at that $2.36 mark, we can reformulate this because that's where it came down. And this target short term is $3.03. So as long as this isn't a fake out and this is actually legit what we're seeing right now, and it looks like it is, remember we drew it out just in case. It has to come down a little bit farther and do that inverse right arm. It doesn't have to, but just in case it does that and it's not playing off of one on that side, we just have to make sure. So, but right now we are absolutely, it's either a fake out or this is the start of a big move here. And the first layer would get you to $3.03. And it would also be the first time since 2018 we've gone over $3. This is signaling about a 25 to 26% move from here, assuming it's not a fake out. Like, you can look at the rotation and then you got to make, actually it's a little bit higher. That breakout point is actually a tiny bit higher. So the back toss is actually more imminent. Yeah, that's better. So the back toss is actually more imminent. That's why it looked weird. Good. Okay, so it's $3.06. And the back toss is happening right now. That's at about $2.39 to $2.40. So that is unequivocally what we're looking at right now this morning. Bitcoin at 100,743, up 563 points. It looks like it as well is trying to break out. Looks like an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Should bring us up to that target of 106,341 in the short term, even if bearish, as we've been talking about. As long as it doesn't invalidate itself, and invalidation would be falling out of this channel. You fall out of the channel and you can't come back. See, when it fell out, it held the 200. Held the 200. See, it's getting supported on the 200. That's a very bullish signal. Even here, it never came below the 200. Never came below the 200. So that looks like a flag form. Nice V-shaped recovery. Also looks like nice inversion here on both sides of this formation. I mean, if you're going just based on that, you could see a nice V-shaped recovery, a nice inverse left shoulder and right shoulder formed. And now it's bouncing off the 99,760 pivot point, and that's bullish. So, just like XRP, that's its timetable right now. If Bitcoin stays over 99,700 area, super bullish. If XRP stays over that $2.39 area, super bullish in the short term. But once you break out, you have to back test it. Like I always say, you have to confirm the area. So if this was the most recent area of resistance here, resistance, resistance. This is the first time it's actually peeking its head over the resistance. This is the first time it's actually saying, you know, third time might be a charm. Because we had support, support, support. We've already confirmed the pattern. 3 hits on support, 3 hits on resistance. Even from the short scale and not going into the channel, you've confirmed that side of the pattern too. So that's why I know it's an overall bull flag if it doesn't break down. But this short-term falling channel or flag channel, whatever you want to call it, or descending wedge, I'm trying to show you all the bullish scenarios here and why I'm not nervous. If it breaks out of this pattern to the downside, sure. Then okay, we can start talking. Or if it takes route 2 of 3, we want route 1. Route 3 would just be to fall through. Route 1 is just to break out. Route 2 is the absolute fake out, and then it turns into an M-topping reversal, which would be the real M-topping reversal, or Batman top, in my opinion, if it does it. And then you'd have to start watching for the something building. You know, you'd have to watch for the stair builder. So that is option number 2. Option number 1 is just breakout. Option number 3 is to fall through. And this pattern consolidation would have been bearish. Which, obviously, it doesn't look like it to me. But with manipulation in cryptocurrency, never say never. Looks good 1 minute. The next minute, it's horrible. On one of my portfolios, 2 days ago, I was down like $1,700 from the drop. And yesterday, I was up $1,737 in culmination with the return rally. Now today, it'll probably put it up a little bit. But anybody, if I would have sold it 2 days ago, I'd have been out about $2,000 just to see it be recovered the next day. That's the difference between spot and leverage. If you're spot trading, you probably couldn't sit through those massive losses and just have them recovered because your liquidation would be somewhere in that path. Or you might be too nervous and the stop loss might kick in. But if you're in a spot position, you can sit for all eternity as long as you believe in what you hold and you think that it has an opportunity. Now, if it doesn't have an opportunity, you know, then you're kind of throwing stones at the wall and seeing what sticks, and it might not be too pretty. So, a lot of stuff I want to go over that we've talked about. I want to go over the liquidation maps. I want to talk about the fact that large investors accumulated 1.29 billion tokens amid market uncertainty, and it's a very short read. We already know about the news of the Bitcoin strategic reserve. The bill has been introduced, and not just Texas. This is just the latest one. There was also Alabama and Pennsylvania have already introduced the same bill. And it would mean that we would have to hold in the reserve we would have to buy into the Bitcoin reserve for 5 years. It's a 5-year build into a strategic reserve, which means you've got 5 years left in crypto. It's come faster than I even expected. But if they're telling you that we can put into the reserve for 5 years, that means there's a 5-year window where this is actually where the elites are going to get stinking filthy rich, and then they're going to move on to the next venture. And then when all the simpleton come in around 2028, 2030, when everything seems like, holy crap, they're finally telling us what's going on, it's going to be too late, and then we're already going to be moved on to the next venture. So we'll see what happens. That doesn't mean XRP just goes away. It doesn't mean you can't hold your ISO or IoT tokens. But what it means is if you hold any of the memes, or if you hold any of the ones that are on the fence or on the fringe, or maybe we think are IoT and ISO and they just don't pan out, they're going to hit the rocks with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not going to be what it looks like right now. I'm telling you right now, this is the single biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. It's bigger than anything we've ever seen. They're systematically destroying us. Prepare now. It's a systematic takeover. We're being destroyed systematically right now from within. And the Bitcoin created by the United States government, I mean, I don't have the proof of it, but I know that's what happened. And the proof is in the pudding. Bitcoin reserve created by the U.S. government, the U.S. government creates Bitcoin. The national debt right now, you can't make this up. The national debt is so wide that every 30 days, what is it, $1 trillion now? Or it's close to $1 trillion every 30 or 45 days. I can't remember exactly what it is. Added in debt. So what's the only way we can pay the interest on our debt? You guessed it. The Tether Treasury prints Tether, right? And then it gets pushed into the market at a tune of $2 billion per printing of this from the Tether Treasury. And I believe all they're doing is pumping up crypto to make the interest payments on our national debt. Now think about that conspiracy and take it a little bit further. 20% of all USDT that's been created over the years, the past few years, is all volume related to Ripple. So that means 20% out of every $1 million printed, 200,000 is for Ripple. So they decided to make the ROUSD stablecoin. Take it a step deeper. The U.S. government now announces a strategic reserve that they will have to buy in for 5 years. It's been, like I said, the bill has been proposed in Pennsylvania, Alabama, and now yesterday, Texas. So now you're telling me the single entity that created Bitcoin, the U.S. government, is now going to be putting into a Bitcoin reserve, and they want to take the strategic gold from our strategic gold reserve, which we don't have. So it's an easy way for them to say, sure, let's take the gold that is not in Fort Knox and let's print it via the Tether Treasury and let's put it in. Well, the European Union said, the hell with this. We're not funding your Bitcoin purchases. We're delisting USDT in the Eurozone on December 31st. The government in the US said, like we give a rat's ass, we're going to approve in the New York Department of Financial Services the RLUSD stablecoin, which already handles 20% of USDT Tether. You cannot make this up. How much of Tether do you think is used in the European Union? What, 10, 20% of the world use probably, with based on the market? What's being replaced with RLUSD? Oh, that 20% USDT won't be able to carry anymore. How much did Ripple using USDT prior? About 20% of the total USDT reserves. Now Ripple doesn't need to use that 20%. The European Union stops using the 20%. And the European Union is now going to use HBAR with their stablecoin that's going to be announced shortly. You can't make it up. When I tell you there's certain avenues to be in, HBAR, dominant in some parts of the world. You have to own it. XRP, dominant in some parts of the world and infrastructure. You have to own it. There's certain ones you just have to own. And the dominoes are going to fall. XLM, you have to own. XDC, God willing, you have to own. IOTA, but maybe not Algo, because technically, like I said yesterday, and I love Algo and I hold 10,000 tokens. But technically, to me, it was the same thing with ADA. If I had ADA, why would I even hold that if I could hold Algo at the price? And then it comes even farther. Why would I hold Algo if I can hold HBAR at the price it's at? When it can do 10 times, and I hate to say this, but I even showed it. Yeah, it can do 1,000 times what Algo can do. It's unlimited. They actually, XRP, right? We talk about 10,000 transactions per second, and that's our big selling point. HBAR throttles it down to 10,000 they could do infinity transactions per second. And it costs the same fraction of a penny as Ripple and XRP. They're two different entities. Ripple XRP is literally for bank collateral. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Cryptocurrency going forward, it's not what you think. Crypto is not what you think you're buying. That's why I said in 21, this is not what everybody thinks is going on. This is not a digital system that you think it is. It's not to move money for me and you. This is a systematic takeover by a digital currency to fund the national governments across the world. It's over. Like, this is already set in stone. I didn't say I wanted to invest in crypto because I wanted it. I invested in it because I had to. They forced me, if I wanted to stay ahead, I had to invest in XRP. I had to invest in crypto. That doesn't mean I think it's the best option, but I do know in this next chapter, unfortunately, it's going quicker than we could have ever imagined. And this next part is going to be very, very interesting, the way they turn it, the way they push this. And we don't know if the push right now is a breakout in the immediate term, if this is a fake out, because right now you can see it's come back slightly under the breakout zone. So it looks like we're getting ready to take off here. It feels like we're getting ready to take off. But with manipulation comes the who knows certainty. But in this, whether it's today, tomorrow, if it's around Christmas time, because that's what Ethereum is certainly pushing. Like, it looks like it wants to have a massive breakout around Christmas, which is craziness with Bitcoin. So Christmas, hello, Merry Christmas to all. This is eventually going to do what it needs to do. It's eventually going to do what it needs to do. And when it does, it's going to be, nobody knows when it's going to happen. Like I said, I have a drawing. Well, I took it out for the ease so everybody could see today the pattern. But I have a drawing to where it can still come to 215 for XRP. And it could create that inverse right shoulder. So I keep prefacing, if this isn't a fake out, we can go up there right now. If it is, we have to come back down. A key tell, Ethereum came back down to 38.81 right now. It was at 39.35. It looks like a nice inverse recovery here. Like almost like a V even if you wanted to do it. It looks like it's getting ready to break out. But just because it looks like it doesn't mean we know exactly when it's going to happen. We're trying to hold support here. But in the last, since I came on, you can see how it goes up. It was up to 39.76, and before you can even blink, it's down there. You know, so to me, when I'm watching these charts, yes, it is teasing and it is telling us there's a breakout imminently, but it's going to do everything it can to foster the illusion that it's not going to happen. So if it's meant to happen, it will. And that's why I say a lot of times watching the charts and watching your portfolio are two different things. I can watch the charts and not be bothered. But if I start watching the portfolio go up and down, then I start to have these unwelcome thoughts of, do I sell? Do I buy more? Oh, my portfolio's up 300. Oh, now it's down. I'm waiting for the entirety of this to run out. I'm waiting for these patterns to finally play forward. And if they don't, you know, then we reevaluate and we see from the next support structure, which right now for XRP, if this doesn't hold the 239 level and we end up coming back down, we know there's a level at 215 that could create an inverse right shoulder and it comes down to the descending wedge. I don't want that to happen, like I said yesterday, but if it does, I'm not going to be nervous because I know it's setting up, possibly. So with that being said, let me turn the comments on if they even let me see. Well, no more transactions without government knowing about it. Eventually we'll have a code. Yes, that's the problem, my friend. You 100% said it. There will be no more privacy. You will not be able to tip somebody in dollars. Like that's the side of this that could be going away rather quickly. And that is going to be difficult for some. It is. It's going to be truly difficult for some. And that's why I've made a very, very, very concerted effort over the years to put a lot of my personal wealth into actual money. Whenever I have big profits in crypto, you guys know what I do. I was until 2024 when we started exploding, because I haven't bought a single precious metal in 24 because it already went past my price points. And for years, I put every profit I had into the precious metals. I've been putting into commodities. Right now, I'm liquid because it keeps forcing me out. But eventually, it's not going to force me out of B2 Gold, and I'm going to be able to sit in it like I did earlier in the year. But it keeps forcing me out because it won't hold the structural integrity, nor can it break out of the integral zone. And if it can't break out of there, then it's just going to come down some 13 to 17 to 23%. I'm not sitting through it. I'll just buy that much more. Oh, I didn't say they're not good buys, Ronald. Silver's a great buy. The gold-silver ratio right now is 87 to 1. Good buy. Anything over 80 to 1 is a great buy. You don't even look at the price. You look at the actual ratio to gold. It's a great buy. There's no doubt about it. It's just, for me, I've already done years and years and years of what I wanted to do. And now, let's say crypto, the rally ends and I've got a bunch of profit. Well, then I'll buy more silver. But right now, for me, it's not getting past where I want just yet. Look at the difference in volatility. The USDT on XRP 239. The XRP spot price 240 and a half. Look at the volatility there. If we're going up to another level, it was clearing liquidity or USDT's front running spot. Both a problem. The problem is though they intend to get money out of our hand. Oh yeah, no, yeah. They do intend to get money out of our hand. Correct? I'm talking about precious metals. With my profits, I put them into gold and silver, not stock, not the trust, the iSilver trust or the gold trust. I'm talking about real precious metals that you can put in your hand and you can look at, because they're talking about making it a lot more difficult in the States. And there is a bill that's being proposed that you all need to pay attention to. Why I say they're systematically wiping us out. They're trying to make a bill here in the USA, and it's gone past where I wanted it to, that they're going to make it very difficult to buy gold and silver. One, without a massive tax on silver, because it's technically an industrial metal. And two, the privacy of buying. There's a bill that goes through now. You might have to clear a certain amount if you want to buy precious metals now. And if that goes through, you don't know if it's going to be $5,000, $3,000, $10,000, $1,000, $50. If they make it mandatory for us to get permission to buy X amount of gold and silver, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a fake out and we're going down for the full moon this weekend. It very well could be. It very well could be. That's why we've talked about both scenarios this morning, and I asked for, I like to ask for everybody's opinion. That's why we're at a critical juncture here. That's why we're talking about this right here and right now. It seems like we are going down. You're not sure what will age well. The only thing that's not aging well is your comment, because I didn't say it was going up or down. I've given you both scenarios. If this pattern breaks out, right? The pattern. Listen, folks. If the pattern breaks out, we go to 306. If it gets rejected here, we've already got it drawn out to the support at $2.15. If it doesn't hold 215, you come down to the descending wedge support at 204. I don't know what wouldn't pan out, what wouldn't age well. That's what bothers me. I didn't say anything that should age or shouldn't age well. I'm telling you the formation, and you have to make a decision. That means in your mind it's not aging well. It means you're not listening to the information. I'm not telling you it's going up or down. I'm telling you if it breaks out of this pattern, what we were trying to back test, the target's right in front of you. If it doesn't happen, remember what we came in on, what I drew yesterday? And sometimes I have more patience. Sometimes I don't. When somebody, it doesn't age well. I don't care if it ages well or not. That's not my intention here. My intention is to show you the pattern. If the pattern doesn't age well, well, then the pattern didn't age well. And it reversed on us. It's beautiful. We already know where it's going if it ages on us, and we can adapt from there. But I don't understand. Like, I want us all to be on the same page. I want us all to understand the information trying to be put out. I'm not trying to make a prediction. That's so 2021. I don't need to make predictions anymore. The only time I do is a pattern prediction. I do a pattern prediction over time. That's how I knew the descending wedge. That's how with the cup and handle I said, this is going to play out. Some people told me it didn't age well the whole time because it would go to 70, back to 45, back to 38. It aged very well. It broke the pattern consolidation. It broke the cup and handle, and now we're up at $2.38. When people told me it wasn't aging well, it was at 39 cents when they should have been buying. When it was aging like it should have been. Patience. So if it comes down here, what doesn't age? I don't understand. Can somebody explain to me so I can be a better influencer? What doesn't age well if it comes to? I don't understand. I just want to know what philosophy my audience is seeing. You guys should see. I put out a video. I just put out you know what? Screw it. Screw it. This is what I said, since not many people watch the flashback, but this is what I said years and years and years ago. The only thing that needs to age well is advice I gave you guys years ago. And look how shitty this quality is.
But you're the only one who only talks about it being bearish and never going up. Well, first of all, I was the first person to call it bearish a long time ago, like 8 months ago, and said it was the start of a brutal bear market with a bull trap in between, which is what we experienced, the epic proportions. But
mind you, when you're listening to this, XRP's at 40 cents. We had just about 2 months after this went down to sub 30 cents for the last time. Bitcoin just 2 months after this went down to like 15,000. Listen to what I'm saying. And just, this is what I'm one time, I won't say anything, but this is what I try to preach, and this is what I've done, and this is why sometimes I get defensive when people talk shit about what I do, but it's not what I do. See what I'm saying? I want people to come here that understand what my purpose is. My purpose isn't to make $1 off of you. I'm making plenty of dollars on my own. I want you to make it with me.
But you're the only one who only talks about it being bearish and never going up. Well, first of all, I was the first person to call it bearish a long time
I'm
ago,
calmer than you
months
know.
ago, and said it was the start of a brutal bear market with a bull trap in between, which is what we experienced, the epic proportions. But I simply said I was not going to give any kind of bullish sentiment in a bear market until we started to bottom out. There's no reason to give any kind of false perception that we have any chance of going up, because no matter where you bought in the last 8 months, you're down better than 50%, no matter where you bought it. And the reality is you're down about 80% if you held XRP and bought it anywhere near the run last year on the bull run towards the top. So I'll have bullish sentiment when it needs to be. Right now, we're still very bearish. There's no end in sight. We haven't hit our lowest of lows yet. And until we get there, I'm going to continue to spread the message because I need my audience to be 100% portfolios intact as long as they put their faith and trust into me for what I do.
And that was my message back then. So the only time I ever get any kind of worked up is when it's not being heard. This isn't stressed. This is actually me having to explain myself at a level that probably shouldn't need to be done. But for the ones who are just tuning in, you got to understand what I'm doing. You have to understand what this is all about. That structure right there, if it breaks out, it breaks out. If it doesn't, yes, you have to come back down likely if this gets rejected. And then the reason why I have it drawn out so in depth, where's the other chart? On this chart is because I want to emphasize if it's breaking out the back test. Oh, that's pushed up now. I hate when it does that. But the back test here, you can see it in a channel. You can see it in a wedge. Hell, you can see it in a bull flag, channel flag. The point is it doesn't change. Like, depending on how you put this, it's either back testing it or it's just outside of the back. It looks like it's back testing it on there. But then on a slightly different chart, because the price action's just slightly different, the other chart looks like on the USDT chart, I believe that's the USD. Yeah, on the USDT chart, it's on the cusp. On the USD chart, it's actually on the outside back testing it. That's the subtle difference here. That's a USDT, which is a futures chart. And this is actually a spot chart. The spot chart's back testing the breakout. The USDT slightly under, which is interesting to me. That's a subtle difference in the charts. Just a subtle difference. Looks like a massive inverse head and shoulders right here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Until this gets invalidated, it can't be seen as bearish. Holy crap, hold on. Someone's at my door. Oh, how you doing?
We have Julie's order.
Yes, yes.
I'll need a license.
Yeah, let me grab mine. I order every single week. We live in the same house. I can either give you my name or her name. Just whoever orders it. Yeah, no, I was just saying. That's just what they told me.
Well, between him and the hustlers, I'll get trained real good.
Oh yeah.
So 144 is what?
Oh, I think it was 150.
There was a discount that came up after we put it all together.
Well, looks like you guys get a 15 instead of a $10 tip today. You're like coming to my house.
I certainly appreciate it. Okay. Wrap it up. What? Oh, yeah, oh, that part.
Yeah.
And then throw it in your knapsack and then that's it.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Thank you. All right, sorry about that. I completely forgot that was coming. All right, let's see. You called it bad time. You must be a bit embarrassed. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I am so embarrassed that I called it at 35 cents to buy in, and now I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed that XRP is at $2.41 breaking out of it. I'm so embarrassed. You see what ends up happening, folks? Whenever you show a tiny bit of diligence, you get these kind of people. And that's what I need, because that's how you'll know whether or not I fall off the rocker today. So, XRP large investors accumulate $1.29. 1.29 billion tokens amid market uncertainty. Large XRP investor whales have added 590 million XRP worth 1.29 billion in the past week, signaling confidence in long-term growth. XRP has faced consolidation hovering between $2.20 support and $2.62 resistance. And when this was written, the current value was $2.34. It's about $2.41 right now. The positive market sentiment reflected in XRP's funding rate suggests bullish expectations. Jeremy Lundeen, thank you so much for the $5 donation in your first YouTube super chat. Much obliged, my good friend. Appreciate that. Respect that pay it forward mindset. During a phase of price consolidation and increasing bearish sentiment, large XRP investors known as whales have been actively accumulating the cryptocurrency. This accumulation reflects sustained confidence in XRP's long-term potential among major holders. The trend could set the stage for a breakout, enabling XRP to target its multi-year high of $2.90. XRP whales fill their bags. Over the past week, XRP has traded within a narrow range. Its price has faced resistance at $2.62 and has found support at $2.20 as of this writing. The altcoin exchanges hands at $2.34, hovering above this key support level. XRP's sideways movement and waning bullish sentiment have prompted a group of large investors who hold between 100 million and 1 billion XRP tokens to seize the opportunity to accumulate a significant amount of this cryptocurrency. Per sentiment, this cohort of investors has collectively added approximately 590 million XRP to their holdings over the past 7 days, translating to a value of around 1.29 billion currently. This group of XRP investors holds 8.91 billion tokens. This trend of whale accumulation signals strong confidence in XRP's future price. As large holders accumulate more XRP, it can create upward pressure on the market, leading to potential price rallies as smaller investors react to the activity. Despite XRP's limited price movements, derivatives traders remain optimistic about a rally, as evidenced by the altcoin's positive funding rate currently at 0.008%. The funding rate represents the periodic fee exchanged between traders to align the contract price with the spot price. A positive funding rate indicates that long position holders are paying short position holders, reflecting a market bias toward bullish sentiment. So the XRP price prediction, why accumulation must continue. XRP is trading at the $2.34 mark, holding slightly above the support level at $2.20. If retail investors increase their accumulation, the price could rise toward the resistance at $2.62. A successful breakout above the level may push XRP to $2.90, a high last seen, well, not in 2018. That was last seen in 2024. Silly. But $2.90, yeah, they should have just said $3. But it may push to retest the 7-year high in XRP's price, let's just call it. We'll give them a little grace. However, if whale accumulation wanes and bearish sentiment strengthens, XRP price will break below 220 and fall to $1.95. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for your second month of the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News and a $4.99 donation. Wow, your first YouTube super chat. That's mighty awesome. I need to read your message. It just disappeared on me before I could. And like the Bitcoin reserve news, that's not fake. They announced it yesterday. And the bill would call for them to put into the reserve for 5 years. 5 years. Ob says, great job, Tom. Watch you every day. Bought a nice bag at 0.5. Been an XRP since 2022. Beautiful. Beautiful. And like the common message I always give, if it's not right for somebody and they bought it there, you've got it literally by the balls. You've like got a 400% gainer. So, I mean, you can literally do whatever you want. I think Bitcoin 5-year holdings are always in profit. In the short term, until it ends up hitting that crescendo moment when Bitcoin Ponzi scheme runs out of buyers, you got to remember a Ponzi scheme always needs more and more and more collateral to work. And now with the U.S. government and governments around the world basically forcing their citizens to buy Bitcoin, and this is how outrageous it is. The U.S. government literally said via the Texas lawmakers who proposed this ridiculous assertion that we want a Bitcoin reserve with our gold, which is ridiculous to create one. They literally said, we're not doing this at the taxpayer's expense. In the same token, in the same breath, they said that it's not coming from taxpayer dollars, but it's coming from the budget. Who pays for the federal budget? Certainly not these slimy lawmakers. So whether you want to own Bitcoin or not, you're going to hold Bitcoin. I haven't even been watching the comments, to be honest. I see some say they're just jealous. Jealous, hateful, loveful. I don't care. Some people just, I think most of it's just the missing out part. I'll be honest with you. And I think the more honest I am with myself and be like, why are people so hateful and vengeful towards you? I mean, I think it's pretty simple. They want what they don't have. And that's the worst thing out of human civilization. I never look at what somebody else has. I always appreciate what I have. So like if somebody has 100 million tokens, I don't care. I appreciate what I have. The knowledge I have. If somebody has more knowledge, I'm certainly not putting them down. I want to know I want to sponge it. The amount of people that try to get me to get past the point when I have hundreds of people in here because they want to just see the XRP bottom line, it's astounding. It's astounding. But we'll see how this plays out. We're ultra volatile today, so it'll be interesting. Axel, thank you for the $4.99. He said, my 2-year-old XRP aids well. P.S. Where's my spanner gone? Maybe. I love you, Tom, but I want your bags more. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Don't let them wind you up. I just read the comments. And then if I feel like I've got to be a little more straightforward, I am, but it doesn't bother me. Like I like to be like this. I like to be able to hear what people say because then it gives me a fundamental mindset of people. Like, there was opportunity here. Canto went down to like mid twos, low twos yesterday. We talked about it. Up 21%. Jasmine was way down under 4 again. Now it's back up to 4.5. There's opportunities every day. IOTA's back up over 41. I know it's down 2% today, but it was down to like 36, 35 the other day. VELO's up about 5.9%. One could argue AMP is starting to have an opportunity developing again. I see a lot of volatility here as usual. And it's going to be one of those things. By the time we get to probably 1 or 2 o'clock, we're going to know a lot more. Right now, we're deciding whether or not the market wants to push past these resistance or if this is our unequivocal rejection. So, as of right now, not looking the best. We want it to hold, not looking the worst either, obviously. But we want it to backtest and hold this. That's the bottom line. And until this gets invalidated right now, and you got to wait now until $2.28, then we might fill that out at 217 or 215. But we won't know until this pushes through. That's the drawing I had out yesterday. But at the same time, I would prefer this not to break down like I had it drawn out and not have to do that and just break out. We're back testing it right now in the USD chart. Like on the USD chart, we are back testing this perfectly. It's the USDT one that gives us cause for, hey, we're on the bottom side of this right now. But not all of it is. Only the USDT one is, not USDC. So remember that. Hit the like button. 346 watching, 180 likes only. George, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. That's a common story. I offend people when I ask to hit the like button. So, that's what happens.
I love you.
I love you too. Oh yeah, I wanted to read this. So while we're letting this go out and do what it needs to do. So ESE, people wanted more information. So first, and then I wanted to show you that it's not technically IoT, but it has connectivity for the IoT tokens. It's a big, so EESE, so easy or EC. ESE is a cryptocurrency token that powers the EC platform, a gamified liquidity solution designed for digital assets, tokens, and real-world RWAs, real-world assets. So, gamified platform, Easy introduced a fun and engaging way to participate in the cryptocurrency market liquidity solution. It helps increase liquidity for digital assets, making them more accessible to traders. It has accelerated sales, can help sellers quickly and efficiently sell their assets, lower cost barrier, it reduces the cost of entering the Web3 market. And the utility token, ESE token, can be used for various purposes within the ECC ecosystem, such as participating in raffles and earning rewards and yada yada. That's a way to get you in. But in itself, what does it do? So it provides global cellular Internet of the IoT connectivity solution. So it offers connectivity for the Internet of Things.
Like a text message from T's teacher.
What'd she say?
His school picture.
Oh, wow. Yes, they are. It's exactly what we wanted. It says they offer a range of services, including global connectivity, secure and reliable connectivity for Internet of Things devices, the IoT devices worldwide, device management, tools to manage and monitor IoT devices remotely, data analytics, insights into device performance and usage patterns, robust security measures to protect IoT devices and data. Let's see. Only the people making money are hitting the like button. That should be every single one. How are you not making money if you've watched me? Did you just start watching yesterday? There's not one person in this audience that could say they're not making money if they just listen to what I've been saying over the past, how many years? If you're not making money, reevaluate. Reevaluate. If you just joined, stop watching everybody else you've ever watched before me. If you have not made money the last 3 years, whoever you're watching has steered you wrong. Bottom line. Device management. Tools to manage and monitor IoT devices remotely. Insights into device performance and user patterns or usage patterns. Security measures to protect IoT devices. Healthcare, remote patient monitoring and asset tracking and supply chain management. Logistics, fleet management, supply chain visibility and asset tracking. Smart metering, traffic management, and environmental monitoring. Retail inventory management, asset tracking, and customer experience. If you're looking for IoT solutions and connectivity, Eseye is a company worth considering. So we always talk about the Internet of Things. So I went deeper and I tried to figure out what's connecting all of the Internet of Things tokens or all these different things in the smart world. This seems to be a pretty big bet here. Oh, you guys don't need to tell me if you made money. I know what my audience has made. It's that simple. I don't need you to tell me. I already know. I do the same thing every single day for 4 years. I'm the most transparent person on YouTube. I'm the hardest worker, too, because I actually show up in times of high volatility and on holidays and things like that. But actually, you know what? I'm being a little bit too self-absorbed. So forget what I just said. We need to focus on the charts. And just pay attention. That's it. This morning, if it gets rejected here and this doesn't hold, there's a likelihood that we're coming down to at least 215. We do have a small short term that we could hold at 235. But if it doesn't hold this consolidation, and like I said, this is the IoT. That is the USDT chart. And the USD chart is slightly a different vibe right now because it's on the top side of the breakout. So which one is telling us the truth? Is USDT telling us the truth? Or is the futures market telling us the truth? Because the futures market is having a little more of a battle here. Not much because it's right on the support structure. But that's what I'm going to be eager to watch today. That's what I'm looking at going forward today. So aside from that, it's 11:30 in the morning. I most likely will do a live tonight unless for some reason I'm like, maybe I don't want to do one, but I can't see and fathom that happening because I just like what I do. Unless for some reason I have something to do tonight because it's Friday night and something comes up, which I don't think anything's coming up. I'll be back, and I'm winding this down right now because I think I've hit every point and I like where it's at. I really like where it's at right now. And XLM right now up 2.16%. XLM up to the 200-day right now. If this gets a rejection here in the shorter time frames, and I kind of want to come outside of just like, the 2 hour is a nice one though. This is the biggest problem still. We have to invalidate what looks like a death cross. And the only way to do that is to start breaking out. So now, for XLM to reverse this short-term narrative and not have to keep coming down to that uptrend, it's got to get past the 200-day and start riding that as support in the 2 hour. So basically it needs to start doing this and then start riding it up. Otherwise, if this becomes a rejection, it's just going to come for its nearest support at 40 cents again. And it's been doing it. It's been doing it all the way up. It rode the uptrend, back to the uptrend for safety. Maybe it's not safe. You know, and then when it's safe, it'll come up and try to push. If there's not enough support, then it comes down to the lower uptrend. And if it does that, it's the first step of defeat. You know, you don't want to come down to that lower uptrend because that just admits that the bullish consolidation might be waning. And you don't want that because then you're coming down to the actual all-time uptrend from when this cycle rally started. Once you come below the cycle rally uptrend, you have to start looking at the fact that we're probably past our prime. So that's why this is such an important moment for me, or such an important moment on the charts. And that's why I'm trying to emphasize it in a way. And I tried to start out this live by giving some real insights into how they're systematically destroying us and give you real reasons why, you know, you need to look at things in not just the positive direction, but also if it does fall bearish, so that you understand it before it is starting to progress into a way to where you lose all value. I want to give you that as well. Unfortunately, the last few days, I haven't found the right mix of vibe. Like again, today, I've got a decent vibe, not the right mix. Until that hate leaves, you know, we get compounded on things and worry about things that are not relevant. So I thank all the haters in there this evening because it's going to help me learn. It's going to help me grow. And when I watch this back, I'm going to say, I wish I wouldn't have done that. And I certainly won't do that next time. But it's also going to give me a tool in my belt so that I can handle it even more efficiently. So the lovers, the haters, you equally help make me better. So for that, I thank all of you. As far as this goes, we're in the 3 hourly now. Hour and a half left in the 3 hour candle. Hourly. We seem to always be the exact moment where we either lift off or crash lately. That's what happens when you're at the break point. That's what happens. Like, everybody, listen. I understand this consolidation's been going on since all of December 3rd. We haven't had a lot of make it or break it moments lately. It's for the pattern continuation to keep moving at a parabolic level. You can't break down out of the consolidations. You have to continue progressing upward. You know, after it does the consolidation, unless it's ready to reinvent itself down, you don't want to bust the formation. That's why it's at these moments. But as far as we haven't done nothing and we can't do nothing, or I see a lot of comments, not just on my channel, just the overall narrative is changing on XRP, that it can't do anything. It never moves. It always is bare. My mind literally, I thought when it did this, at least, the naysayers would be like, hey, XRP actually, you know, for a couple years, it was the truest stable coin and we should have bought it. There was no uncertainty there. It was just a chess match between the ones with patience and the ones who want instant results. I know the instant result people in my comments based on their comments. The instant results ones are the ones who will make a comment like your content won't age well today. That's so short-sighted. The ones who have good understanding will say, hey, this pattern's got a long ways to go. Unless it immediately breaks out today, we could find ourselves in a lengthy consolidation. That doesn't mean it's bearish. It doesn't mean it's bullish. It just means we have no freaking idea what's going to happen because we've never been here before. That's what I tried to explain yesterday. We've never been here in the XRP chart. Say what you will about 2017, much different stakes. Price was nowhere near where it started this time. If it has the exact move of 2017, we're not even going to be on the stratosphere that we're on right now. 2017 brought us from the double zeros, triple zeros, quadruple zeros into the real world. But then everybody flailed, and then the lawsuit, and it was going much too quickly for the U.S. government, and they knew it. So you have the lawsuit. There's nothing that's not by design. This is the single easiest money I've ever made in my life because we were in the accumulation phase for so long. Now I'm getting the question saying, oh, you're so happy because you make all this money on YouTube by charging your people $9.99 a month. You know, and that's the one that I'm always like, you know, that just tells me people will just say anything because all my content's free and it's never changed. The $9.99 are people that are just paying it because I put so much time in and they feel like I'm doing too much probably. Or they just made so much money they said, what's $10 a month? That's the two reasons. They're not getting nothing out of it. Besides the solace of knowing they're doing the right thing by paying it forward to somebody who's putting in work that they would have to do themselves and helping them evolve themselves. See, I have a certain fundamental understanding of how I need to do things and what my audience needs to do to succeed. I was very hard on my audience in 21. I was a dick in 21 because nobody was listening. In 22, I was even more of a dick because nobody was listening when the buy zones hit. In 23, I kind of said, I got to change this approach. In 24, the approach is almost where I want to be. But in 25, when I stop explaining myself, that's when you'll know that I've truly hit my stride. It's very close. This is the best version of me you've ever seen, but there's an even better one coming in 25. The problem is a lot of you that want these in-depth answers of why I do what I do aren't going to get it in 25. I'm shallowing off in 25 a little bit for different reasons. 25 is the cutoff. 21, 22, 23, I learned. 24, I tried to improve and I tried to assert. 25, I know it needs to be done. I've already had my data analysis for 4 years now. I don't need anything else. There's no different person that could come in here, no more loving or no more caring, no more hateful, no more jealous, no more ambitious, or no more uninspired that I've already seen in 4 years. So in 25, it's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, nice. I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Nice. Oh, no, it's actually the opposite. 25 brings back timid Tom. The positivity over negativity. The don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But also the pay attention and don't misrepresent or I ignore. That's going to be the... Julie knows when it's the ignore Tom. The ignore Tom is the most focused, is the most on point, and is the most unaffected by what anybody says because I turn off my own self-awareness. So then it just bounces. And that's where we're getting to. That's what you're seeing the last 3 days. The transition. That means going away from reading all the comments. That means going away from even having a scrolling comments on there for 20, 25 minutes at a time. That means we're going from one level to the next, and that means you have to pay attention. I personally, during this show, I went from, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I went from 4 zeros, 3,500, to 5 zeros, and now more than likely, based on the portfolio sizes now and how much they've grown, probably 6 zeros. So if I've done it, and you're watching exactly what I'm doing, and I show you exactly what I do every day, you should have gone from 1 zero to the next. That's why I think the focus isn't right. That's why the whole leverage trading is done. Done! I'll never talk about it again. I seen that whole side when you try to give and try to teach people at a faster pace, but then that just causes different things. It's the spot mentality through and through. I don't even want anybody copy trading me going forward. Not a single person. So if you are, that gravy train has to end because we all have to do this on our own. Dog Bite, thank you for the $10 donation. So that's but it's a good thing. You got to understand this is a good thing. We're growing. We're understanding each other. We're understanding where we're going. Futures are easy, emotions are hard. Sure are. Sure are. So, I mean, are you guys honestly ready for what 2025 has to hold? I'm being extremely, extremely honest. Or this is a real question. Do you know what 2025 actually holds? And ignore the noobs there, basically. Oh, no, that's the point of this. The noobs, the NPCs, I love that word, that they're NPCs, because it's true. You're just an NPC in my world. You know, as far as I know, you're just some kind of computer program. That's what you should be getting. This is locked in. When I'm locked in, I don't show any kind of emotion. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's just locked in. And right now I see everybody saying we're going down without that validation, which is interesting. I've never seen so many people so wrong in such a short amount of time as they've been with XRP over the last 2 months. And I'm not saying you're not wrong or right about it going down, But I've never seen so many people so collectively wrong about a single asset in my life. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I hope you continue to be wrong about XRP. I hope the negativity continues because I know I'm on the right track. You know when I know I'm not on the right track? When everybody was saying how easy of a buy it was at 290. That's how we said we're probably going to have to backtest the 2021 high as support. And now everybody's saying XRP is a pile of shit again when it went down to $1.90. It couldn't even hold $2. Those same people now, what are they doing today? They're probably getting back on TikTok and YouTube trying to create a station again saying, I can make some easy money here talking about how XRP is going to go to 10,000 today. And then tomorrow when it's down, they'll say how it's going to go to 0. No consistency. No real rhyme or reason. Just here, let me push you out this data that makes no sense. Everybody telling me right now it's bearish when it makes no sense. Let the chart make it bearish. Don't force it bearish. The chart says anything but bearish right now. Let it force it. Let it force the issue. That's why exact reason I don't short the market. I'm not trying to force it down. I'm looking at a technology that I'm trying to see push forward because I know what they're implementing it. This isn't the time to be looking. I've been saying this since Bitcoin was at 70,000. Anybody who goes short on Bitcoin from here is going to lose their ass. I've been saying it on XRP since the rally started. Anybody who goes short, you're going to lose your ass. Until the rally's over. You never short a bull market. Sure, you can get that small money, but if you hold it for any length of time, you get crushed. Crushed. Then I get the 100x. I get it. I get it. You can trade 100x, and in 2 minutes you can make this, but in 7 minutes you'll be fully liquidated. But you were so godlike. You were able to sell it in the 2-minute window, and you bought it at the exact low to sell the exact top, even though it's impossible because of liquidity, especially at 100x. But I get it. You guys are better than I am. I get it. I get it. Not as good. Not as good. But I own the spot. I own spot. I love these. I love this. Like, this is when I'm the happiest. Ethereum back over 39. 3,900 right now. That's good. Sunny days are ahead, Tom. Draw it. That could happen. I think we need one more correction to complete this falling wedge. So $1.50. My friend, if we go to $1.50, this wedge doesn't exist. Unless you're looking at a much more defined pattern than I am. Oh, there we go. Well, if blockchain backer said it, well, then that must be what's going to happen. Now I understand the comments. I forgot. I mean, if BCB said it, I guess that's what's going to happen. Because he's never been wrong for my 4 years on YouTube and cost people 99% of their holdings. But hey, that's one person that people for years have been telling me my analysis is wrong because of what blockchain backer has said. Can we just read the charts? I thought I was reading the charts. I'm certainly not reading the newspaper for everybody right now. Right now I'm telling you what's... Oh, man. Where's my... Oh, read the chats, not charts. Ah, that's so funny. See that?
Look what happens when I don't read your comments. Don't be a dick.
See what happened when I tried to be serious and backfired. I tried to be just that serious tone, and it wouldn't even hold up with my audience because Julie broke my spear and made me smile. That's so funny. Read the chat. We can do that. But first, I was trying to be serious, everybody, while we were trying this consolidation. It didn't work. I'm wound tighter than a rubber band that's been fully engaged with like 10,000 of them. No.
But I love you.
I'm actually, I'm feeling good. I took my herbal supplement and I feel good. I got too much energy. Ladies and gentlemen, when things are going bad, when we just have too many people in the house, and when Tom can't read his audience, we decide to turn this into a little more happy. And the problem is I can't drink decaf coffee because I don't drink it at all.
No, he just makes it really
I
good.
make really good coffee for Julie, but I don't drink it. So, well, at least we got a rise out of chat. Thanks for the help. We sure did. Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we may and we will never see a dollar again. Oh yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Buy the BS. Lose the bread. It's that simple. You buy the FUD, miss out on the bread. You have the bread, you control the FUD. The FUDsters don't have the bread. That's why they put FUD. Period. And then it turns into a big disgrace. Just turns into something that it shouldn't be. But if you guys are reading between the lines today, there's two different ways that a tone of a person can go. I can show you both sides at once and you can only read between the lines and know what I'm trying to prove.
Don't forget to look at the super chat.
So, Canto up 23%, almost 24% today. In the midst of some other assets that aren't doing as well today, opportunity right there if you hold. Jasmine up 13%. We already know they partnered with IOTX to breed the hashtag DPIN. So they're on this whole big DPIN thing, if you know all about that part of the ecosystem. Something that's growing and evolving on exchanges. ESC down 5.7%. We've talked about the opportunity there. VELO's up 6%, 6.6%. Massive opportunity starting to develop in precious metals, assuming it goes down that next leg. I think there's an opportunity developing in Ethereum Classic as we started with. Ethereum's trying to push us in the right direction. I think, honestly, like I said at the start, I know that they can drop bearish. I've already put the bearish targets at $2.15, maybe even down near that $2.06 on an inverse right arm on the bottom of this short-term descending wedge. But right now we have to understand if it stays over 239, that's targeting a breakout. First level 272, second level 304. And then ultimately that would be the first time over that since 2018 over $3. If we back tested that area, it would ignite all-time highs. And we know the technical target of the descending wedge going back 7 years that we broke out of in October of this year. The first target was 222. The ultimate target's 549. We also know on speculation, which we haven't even got to get through speculation, conjecture, and BS and nonsense, and maybe it's true or maybe it's not. But I haven't even got to get to this point yet today, and we will right now. If, and this is an if, this is a if, and I'm going to preface this again by saying this is an if. We are not making a prediction because we don't make predictions. We put them in motion. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just drawing the chart so they can do what they need to do. If I don't draw them, it doesn't happen. So some say that I'm AI. Maybe I'm the AI that creates the chart. And you guys just don't know it. That's how they always follow it in time. So, right now we've speculated for years that maybe this is just one big cup. What if that's just one big cup? What if you measure the depth of the cup with one big cup on the breakout of the cup? We already seen the short-term cup and handle, so if you don't know how to do it, let's go back. We had a very, very short-term. There's a 2-year, but it's still short-term in comparison to the charts. It's 2 years. We had the cup and handle in the short term. All you have to do is follow. the color code. Yellow, cup, created on the lawsuit announcement that it wasn't a security at last year. The cup target is measured by the base. We also had the handle that is yet to be formed if we're making an ultimate cup up to all-time highs. The handle forms, you have the first target is the handle breakout target, which was $1.18. It held. Your ultimate target out of a cup and handle is the depth of the cup. You measure it from the breakout of the highest resistance, so the cycle high of the cup, and you measure it out, which was $1.38. That's how we knew that before it played out. Did it play out from right here? No. We had to go do. Look how long. Hey, Tom, we're in the handle. It's almost over. No, it's just starting. July of 23, November, December, February of 24, April of 24, July of 24. Finally breaks out in November of 24. How long did we have to wait for the benefits after it did that? Oh, that's right. Because we understood that it was a cup and handle and we bought it the whole way, and you bought it where you wanted under 40 when it finally hit those levels. If you didn't buy it before, you didn't have to wait very long when it broke out. You had 1 month to get your returns. That's what happens. Now, we go back into speculation mode on what could be. And this is when I get excited. Now it doesn't look so silly what we were talking about in the beginning of the year, because now you can actually see a actual vision of how that could actually play out. And we also talked about, and it's then the same thing, if that's the case, it's a massive W reversal. And then if it does this, we already know the technical target, if that is the case. I just don't talk about it all the time. But we know the technical target out of this. If this does create an all-time cup, and this is where you can be optimistic about what could be transpiring going forward. Is anybody ready for that kind of a target if that actually played out? If that actually played out. And that might be a little high, I can't tell. I think it is, yeah, that's a little high. Because we're basing it on this chart, so we can't look at a different chart. We have to only base it on this chart. So if we're just theorizing in the future, and this could take 10 years to happen, but in the future, if this cup is never invalidated, it's working on a 7-year cup right now. So if you just pay attention to what could happen here, it's all set up in front of us. It doesn't mean that it has to do it today. It doesn't even mean it has to do it in 2025. The point is if that cup never gets invalidated, I'm not saying it's going to take 10 years. I'm saying it could. You don't know how long it's going to take. But if it's a super cycle, it's not going to have to take that long. But anyhow, I'm going to go hang out with Julie. She's waiting for me. I've done everything I can to explain myself this morning. And I actually think we did a really good job to end this live. And we'll be going in with positive vibes tonight. So hopefully I'll see you all here tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because it's going to be straightforward. Probably a lot more laughs tonight. But we're going to discuss this. Did this pattern break out? Did this pattern break down? And are we on our way to hitting $3 for the first time since 2018? Or did we get just another rejection? And are we going to see ourselves go down and end up having to talk about the fact that, well, now we have to target the $2.06 area or $2.15 to see if it makes a wider inverse pattern? Do we have to come back down to the flag channel? Yada, yada, yada. And yeah, we can certainly talk more about Eseye tonight as well. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And the word of the week, humility. I need to go find some because part of this, I lost my humility. Gained it back by the end, but now I need to go stare in the mirror and say, where the hell did my humility go for 27 minutes? Oh yeah, the super chat question. I forgot. I forgot there was a super chat. Sorry, I haven't been talking about that lately, so I kind of been just letting that hold on. Kind of been just letting that Oh, I can't see it. It won't let me go back far enough. You know what it was, Julie?
No.
Darn it. It is not letting me go back in my comments. That is unfortunate. It is not letting me go. Let me see if I reset it completely. It won't even let me see all my comments. Well, that sucks. What do you recommend for cold storage? I use Zoom, formerly known as Zaman, and they already are putting on the RLUSD, so stablecoin. I personally use Zoom. I've been using it for years. So, and I've never had an issue. Zero. None. Zilch. That's personally what I prefer. And like I've sent it on and off, and it's beautiful. Yes, BG, Zaman, formerly known as Zoom. Exactly. That's the one I use. It's the one that I love. So, but I'm going to go with Julie. Be blessed, everybody. Hopefully you guys are better off now.